The reality is, no matter what happens, you still lose. He's not a football coach. He has no qualification ever to be the head football coach of any professional franchise. If you're not winning football games, nobody gives a rub your balls a little bit if you have to. Whatever makes you feel good. Doesn't matter what he does, you lose. Because you suck. You suck. You lose. You win nothing. You suck. I know what you're all expecting. And all I have to say this morning is, fuck you. Every single one of you. From Sheila Ford Hamp to the Detroit Lions front office to Motor City Dan Campbell to every single one of you Detroit Lions fans. Excuse me, I'm a bit under the weather today.
Man, Lions messed you up.
Every single one of you Detroit Lions fans that allow this. And every week, somehow, some way, find a way to make an excuse. I'm not even going to blame anybody for yesterday.
Right.
I'm not doing that today.
I don't think that's a Dan Campbell.
We're not blaming anybody today. But I want you to really think about this. Think about it for an hour, the whole day, 5 minutes, maybe 10 seconds. I don't know. Think about it. When your coach does everything right, you still lose. When your coach does nothing right, you still lose. When your coach does okay, you still lose. The reality is, no matter what happens, you still lose. But I'm the problem. You know what? Dan Campbell, Jeff, is a lot of things. I'm going to be honest here. Great locker room guy. Don't smile at me. I'm being very serious right now.
All right.
Great locker room guy, right? Players love playing for him.
Good human being.
Motivational speaker.
Yep.
He's someone that I would love to take to the bar and have a few drinks with me. He's someone I would trust to drive me home if I wasn't sober.
You named
He's someone I would pay to train me and get my lazy ass in shape at the gym. He's a lot of things. You know what he isn't? A god freaking damn football coach. That's the one thing he isn't. He's not a football coach. He has no qualification ever to be the head football coach of any professional franchise. And let me ask all of you beautiful people this morning. You tell me, if the Lions don't hire Dan Campbell a year and a half ago, who does? I'll wait. Did the Jets hire Dan Campbell? No, didn't interview. Do the Giants interview Dan Campbell? Nope. Does anybody interview Dan Campbell outside of Sheila Ford Hamp and Rod Wood and Chris Spielman,
Listen,
who you guys love to stroke off every morning, don't you? Boy, what have they given you? 65 years of nothing. And you know what you have now? You have a 1-5 football team that is underperforming, playing below their own expectations, our expectations of them. They suck. And they suck. And for some reason, you guys helped me put this one together, Jeff. For some reason, through 23 games, you know what company he sits in? He sits along with the Jim Schwartzes, the Marty Morningwigs, as coaches through 23 games with 4 wins. That's what Dan Campbell belongs to. Did you like Jim Schwartz as a coach? I'm sure a lot of you did. Right? He did give you a 10-win season. Oh. You know what the Vikings are doing right now? They're 5-1 top of the division. Yep. The Packers are 3-4. The Vikings, like I told you, we're going to win the division. And you know what's going to end up happening? The Minnesota Vikings, since the year 2000, will have won their 8th or 9th division title. Do you know what that means? They win a division title every 2 years. You know what the Lions do? They can't even get a winning record every 4 years since the year 2000. But Adam, you have to be patient. Adam, it's not fair. Adam, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown's on my fantasy team. Nobody was more pissed off than I was yesterday. And I lost the highest score of the week. Back to the Lions. We're going to talk about me right now. Pathetic. All you know how to do is lose. Yeah, I have to be patient. Well, Adam, it was always about 2023. Adam, it was always about 2024. Adam this, Adam that, Adam. I am not your problem. Your problem is an awful franchise that continues to put out a fucking shit product. That's the reality. And we talk a lot about how important second half adjustments are, right? Second half adjustments. You know who made second half adjustments yesterday?
The Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys did, because they lost the first half 6-3. You know who won the second half? 18-0? Or excuse me, 21-0.
Right. And
the Dallas Cowboys.
And that's what I'd give you. Second half adjustments are really important. But
What do you know? And you know what?
I think overall, though, it's hard to overcome 5 turnovers. Whether you want to go the Dan Campbell route or not. Like that's the reality. They turn the ball over 5 times. And even in the fourth quarter, it's 10-6.
Who coaches them, Jeff?
I know, but you can't coach Jared Goff.
Yes, you can.
That's Ben Johnson. That's our guy.
Brian Dable.
That's our guy.
Has coached Daniel Jones not to turn the ball over. Robert Saleh is working
you're not
with Zach Wilson, who sucks.
But Jared Goff's
Stop.
This guy's been in the league for a while.
No,
I mean,
no.
You're not going to. Okay. All right.
It is the coach's responsibility, including Ben Johnson, who, by the way, has put up 6 points in the last 2 weeks.
So, yes, we got to talk about him, too. We got to talk about him, too.
So what is it? Every week, there's always something. You can never put all 3 phases of the game together. That's what I know about this head football coach. 1 week, it's Aaron Glenn doing a good job and Ben Johnson struggling. The next week, it's Ben Johnson doing really well. Excuse me. And Aaron Glenn sucking. There's always blame game going around here. The reality is your head football coach, who is responsible for all of it, sucks. And the sooner you admit it, the sooner we can all move on and have cordial conversations and talk about where this team's going to go in the future. But the reality is, I have some breaking news for all of you. Guess what? Dan Campbell isn't leaving at the end of the year. He ain't going anywhere. You know why? Because Sheila Fordham, that's her guy. That was her hire. And her firing him is an admission of her failure and her mistake, which she will not do. It is a Ford family trend. You can go back to William Clay all the way back in the day, having his GM, who was his drinking buddy, be the general manager and president for 20, 22, 23, whatever, how long it was, 20 years plus. Matt Millen, Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia, Marty Morningwig, the Mooch, Rod Marinelli. Boy, a franchise blessed with ultimate, astute, profound head coaches. You have people, and I'm not saying this in a mean way, but you have people that say Jim Caldwell is the greatest head coach in Lions history.
Statistically.
And you know what? The fact that that's even a conversation should tell you how pathetic your franchise is. And I got to sit here and say, Dan Campbell needs time. Dan Campbell needs time. If I was the owner of the goddamn Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell wouldn't have made it out of last year. He would have been gone. And you know what? Be objective about it. He is a losing coach who knows how to lose. And you cannot tell me that the Seahawks should be in first place. You cannot tell me that the Bills have a similar record to the New York Giants. You can't tell me that the Jets. The Bills and the Jets. Jets are now 5-2. The Giants 6-1. How? Tell me how. Seattle, Atlanta, New York, both of them. You tell me how it makes sense. But there's always an excuse and a reason why the Lions can't. There's always something, Jeff, and I am fed up. Done with it. I don't want to hear it. I don't care about your excuses. I'm not blaming the game on anybody yesterday. I don't give a damn. I don't care anymore. All I know is you have a losing head coach who will not turn it around. You will likely be 1-8. And then you're going to sit up here and tell me, Adam, they need time. They need time, Jeff. They need time. That's what they need.
And it doesn't make sense either. I mean, what frustrates me the most is back-to-back weeks now we've gotten to see the Giants, the Jets, the Falcons last week, they lost this week, and then the Seahawks. The Seahawks are actually they're number one right now in the NFC West. So I get why everyone's frustrated because the talent discrepancy isn't insane. The defense showed up. They kept it, a 4-point game to the fourth quarter. But look at these possessions. 6-10. The interception, it's actually 6-3. Interception becomes 10-6. These are the following possessions: fumble, interception, fumble, fumble. End of game. So it's frustrating. And that's why the whole Dan Campbell conversation, whether you want to blame it on him or not, which I don't think it was his fault yesterday, he was actually pretty conservative, which I give him credit for.
That was the game plan.
That was the game plan. But on top of that, the reality is you're judged by wins and losses. And now he's 4-18-1 in his career as a head coach for the Lions. So the reality is you can't excuse that.
You know what Dan Campbell said after the game? Honestly,
oh yeah, I saw your tweet.
The hell out of me.
I saw your tweet.
It inspired me, Ryan. Ryan, it inspired me. I woke up a better man today because of what he said after the game. And you know what? All is forgiven. All is forgiven. Because after the game, you know what he said? Dude, you can change a couple things, man.
Oh my.
You take care of the football. You play your game plan the way you should. All of a sudden, you win. Verbatim what he said. I wish I was joking. Dude, you can change a couple things, man. You take care of the football, man. You play your game plan the way you should, man. And all of a sudden, you win. Dan, I didn't know it was that easy. Oh, my God. He must have figured out the magic formula. The Lions are going to win the rest of the games this year because of Dan Campbell. He's a communicator. He's a leader. He's changing the culture. It's a losing culture. I don't care about how good you feel. Feldman Chevrolet is out of business if everybody in here is happy, but nobody is selling. And the business isn't thriving.
Well, that's very true.
It's a losing product if it isn't. Same with the Lions. I don't care how good everybody in the building feels. If you're not winning football games, nobody gives a fuck. Tell me more about how good Dan Campbell makes you feel. Go ahead, rub your chest a little bit. Rub your balls a little bit if you have to. Whatever makes you feel good, right? Because that's what's important. Dan makes us feel good, Adam, because we had to deal with Patricia. And we're so traumatized, Adam. I don't know what to do anymore. I had to deal with Matt Patricia. Save it. Save it. Save it. The Giants are 6-1. The Seahawks are top of their division at 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets are 5-2.
Second in their division.
The Jets are dealing with injuries. The Giants lost Evan Neal, were able to overcome it on the road against Jacksonville. Wait, Brian Dable won a road game? Oh my God, I don't know what that looks like in Detroit. God forbid the Lions ever won a road game. The Carolina Panthers won yesterday. How? Every week, every single week, somebody in the NFL finds a way to win a football game except the Lions, and then you all sit up here and tell me, oh, there's a reason, Adam. There's an excuse, Adam. There's always something, Adam. Maybe your head coach sucks. Maybe that. And like I said to start the show, when he has a good game plan, you lose. When he doesn't have a good game plan, you lose. When he's in the middle of the pack, you lose. It doesn't matter what he does, you fucking lose. Because you suck. You suck. You lose. You win nothing. You suck.